Hey everybody, it's Dan with Philosophical Fishing. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, please feel free to comment, like, subscribe. If you're interested in coaching, there's a link tree in the description box. There's also my brand new website, philosophicalfishing.com. You can go over to and check out, and my coaching link is also at the website. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for making this community what it is. I value you guys and I appreciate you guys so much and what we've started to create here at Philosophical Fishing. So thank you so much. And today I wanted to talk to you about being uncomfortable. Not being comfortable being uncomfortable, but just not wishing for things to be comfortable when the fact of the matter is things are very, very uncomfortable for you right now. If you're going through benzo withdrawal, or you're coming off of benzos or psych drugs, you're tapering, you're thinking about coming off of psych drugs and tapering, or you're maybe quite a few months or years even off psych drugs and benzos, it's uncomfortable. There's just no two ways about it. And I was thinking about this past week because I sometimes find myself longing for comfort, to just be comfortable. When I had a new job in 2019, I had a really, really good, well-paying job. I liked the people I work with. I liked what I was doing. And then the pandemic hit, and 6 months after getting this job, I was laid off. And I thought it was the worst thing that's happened to me in years. And I was really upset about it because I feel like the rug had been pulled out from underneath my feet, and I felt like something very important to me was just taken away abruptly overnight. I did not see it coming. I mean, I was called into the office on a Friday morning, and I went into the office. It was supposed to be a meeting, and nobody else was there except for me and the boss. Anyway, I got laid off from that job, and what I thought was one of the worst things to happen to me in a long time actually turned out to be a massive, massive blessing for me, because I was able to stay home with my son, who was a year and a half old, I think, at the time. And I got that time with him that I'll never get back. I will never get that time back. And I got to stay home with him. I got to stay home with my family, and I got to be there. And I didn't have that time with my daughter when she was that age because I was still in my addiction. So I always felt like I was robbed of that time. And guess what? I got to get it back when I got laid off from that job. And it goes to show that sometimes I don't know what's best for me. Sometimes I think that the worst thing ever that's happening to me actually turns out to be one of the best things ever for me. And getting back to what I was talking about, being uncomfortable, I look back to that time because I was so comfortable during that time. I was getting paid, I had money coming in, and I also didn't have to work for a period of time. So I got to just be, I got to relax, I got to slow down, I got to stop, I got to take care of myself. And I actually got to focus on a lot of healing for my body, for my mind, for my spirit. And I really, really valued that time. Fast forward to this past year now, where I have been more uncomfortable this past damn year than I have the entire 8 years that I've been off of benzos and psych drugs. Hands down, bar none, by far. This past year, I've moved, my father has died, my grandmother has died, and there's a lot of other things going on. And it's been extremely uncomfortable. My nerves have been pushed to the limit. I've been pushed past the limit this past year to where I now know that I have new limits. And I've found myself at many points during this past year wishing for the comfort that I had at the beginning of 2020. And I'm sorry to anybody who lost friends or family or went through hard times during the pandemic. I know I'm not trying to minimize the pandemic by any means. Just for me personally, though, it happened to be a time of a lot of growth and a lot of rest, and it was a time of comfort for me. So it is what it is. I can't say anything else about it. For me, that's my experience with it. But anyway, that is what it is. I longed this past year for that comfort that I had. And I found myself at times wishing that I had that, and almost grieving the fact that I've been so uncomfortable this past year in my recovery that I was looking back. I was looking back at something that I used to have and wishing for it now, only to find that I don't have it. That comfort that I had, I do not have it. I do not have it this year. And I have not had it almost the entire year. And I had to realize at some point that I had to stop wishing for that comfort. Just stop, because it was just making it worse. Anytime I would go, into the past, basically, in general, anytime I'm looking into the past or looking into the future, I lose where I'm at today. And when I lose the present moment, I get very anxious. The more I can stay grounded in the present moment, where I'm at, where my feet are at, it's like what you say in the recovery community, be where your ass is at or be where your feet are at. Don't go way off into tomorrow. Don't go way back into yesterday. Be present as much as possible. The present, alert stillness is only to be found here and now. And so this applies to going through benzo withdrawal, right? I mean, it's uncomfortable. I mean, there's no two ways about it, right? It's uncomfortable as hell. And even the word uncomfortable doesn't do it justice, because sometimes it's downright terrifying and torturous. But wishing for it to be some other way, or wishing to go back into a place in a time where I felt more comfortable, does yourself a disservice, because you get taken out of being able to accept the process and being able to have any acceptance for the present moment. And the more I can't accept what's happening right now, the more I try to idealize some time in the past or some idea of where I should be in the future, the more I lose any peace or any serenity that I might have had in this present moment. And so what I've had to learn again this year is that comfort will come. It'll come back around. I don't know when for you, I don't know when for me, but you will get to another place where you're comfortable. You'll get to another place in your life where the symptoms have fallen away and you feel more healthy and you feel less anxious and you feel like you can cope with life a lot better. And it's about doing the things that I need to do now to get me to that place. And what is this anxiety bringing up in me that maybe needs attention? See, I try to always think that not why is this happening to me, but I try to think, what is this trying to teach me? What is it trying to show me? Is there a lesson in this? Because oftentimes there is a lesson in what I'm going through. If I'm feeling some kind of deep-seated anxiety, a lot of times there's usually something underneath that does need to be looked at. And so the comfort that I want to feel, the comfort that I want to get to, or the comfort that I might have had that I don't feel right now, that I don't feel this year, I can also look back at this year and see that there's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot of me getting out of my comfort zone and doing things that I've wanted to do, but I just haven't been able to for one reason or another. And somehow this year, going through all the uncomfortableness, all the anxiety, all the things around me that have been happening, I've been able to somehow look at it and come up with creativity and come up with this channel right here, Philosophical Fishing, and the website, and being able to be of greater and greater service, and being able to be more and more aware, and also being aware of things in me that I was blind to previously. And so I know that through this uncomfortability, through this past year, it's been a huge year of growth for me. And I think it's there for all of us if we let this period of your life be uncomfortable, let it be what it is, and also use this time to go inside, go within, and use it for growth. Use it as a period to let yourself expand, because I think that this whole process of coming off of benzos and psych drugs can have ultimate utility and purpose for you. It's just about nurturing the environment to allow that to be able to happen and not fighting it so much. And being able to just let things be. Let yourself be. Let the uncomfortableness be there. Let the anxiety be there. Don't fight it, but ask it what it's trying to teach you. And I've found these tools so helpful in my life. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think that there's a good lesson in there that even though this past year, some of it has just downright sucked, and there's no other way to put it. It just has. And, I wouldn't be able to learn the lessons that I've learned and been able to do some of the things that I've done this past year without that. So I hope that I've said something in here to help you. Just keep going. And I love you guys. If you have any more ideas for any content or video you'd like to see me create, drop a comment, let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you.